It's raining crumbs. It's raining fabric crumbs. Oh my gosh. You guys, I am so inspired to do this crumb block series with you that I'm going to get started right now. And this, look at this little piece. This is my inspiration right here. It's a teeny tiny little block. It is less than 1 inch square. So if this is a square, this is a square, 1 inch. I put this on here. Can you see it's even tinier than a 1 inch square? If I square that up, can you see? Oh my gosh. It is super tiny. It's smaller than a postage stamp. Postage stamp and a postage stamp quilt. So, we're going to use this. We're going to use this piece. We're going to use this. So far, they're half square triangles. We're going to use, like, these pieces. We're going to use all these pieces. This is my inspiration. This isn't even, like, 100% cotton. This is definitely not 100% cotton. But we're going to use it all. We're going to make a 6.5 inch raw, 6.5 inch raw edge crumb block right now from start to finish so that we can complete a project. We can actually complete one project, one crumb block project right now. And I have like theme fabric. I have this strip set already done. We're going to use that. We're going to use, you know, like the salvage edge. We're going to use, here's more strip set. We're going to make it happen. Let's make it happen. So we're going to do this right now. So let me just get started. So actually, guys, welcome, friends and sewing family, to Creating Hanley. I'm the Hanley of Creating Hanley. And we're going to get this done right now. So let's play along. Okay, so I have everything around me set up. I'm going to flip the camera down because those of you who have been watching me already know that I'm still on my laptop camera. I know. I'm still on my laptop camera. So we have, you know, sometimes we have technical difficulties. But we'll try to get this all done today. So I'm flipping the camera down so it's not on my face anymore because you don't want to see my crazy hair. You know, so we're going to put it down on the computer. I mean, the computer down to the sewing machine, the workspace. So here we go. All right, so you can see the sewing machine here. You can see the fabric I'm using. Maybe I'll back it up a little bit. There we go. Now you can see that. Push up my sleeves. I have my sewing right here. I have my cutting board directly behind me. Oh, maybe you can see this side. I don't know. Somewhere. Anyway, it's directly behind me. And let's just pick something. So I put it out this little teeny tiny piece. Let's just start with this teeny tiny piece. So I think, and I'll just show you how kind of I do this. So I just look through all the scraps that I have, and I just try to find something that matches in size, you know, or that would fit. And this actually matches in size. Look at that. That's absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to put right sides together. Yes, it's small. And you guys know that this is a plexiglass machine extender. I talked about this in a different video, but so if it looks like there's like I'm floating on air, it's kind of because I am. So this creates a little extra desk underneath. So if you see like stuff under there, like my seam ripper, whatever, and this little measuring device, you know, whoops, that went right to the floor. So anyway, that's that. But let's just get these together. So this looks like it lines up perfectly. Oh wait, I had it this way. And you're like, how could she even tell? Yeah. So we're just gonna line up the raw edges here, and then we're putting right sides together. So I take this over to the machine, and yes, there's going to be a lot of bulk. There's going to be a lot of, you know, going over seams, seam over seam, in corners and whatnot. So what I like to do is I like to trim off the extra threads. And you could chain piece, but I'm not going to chain piece. And then I like to open them up and not just finger press. So this would be finger pressing these. But I like to actually, you know, iron it down so that it lays as flat as possible. So you can see how that lays more flat now. And it's easier to work with for me like that. And then I just take another piece and I see, yeah, can this line up there? Would this be better maybe, you know, on this side? What do we have here? The same thing there. So let's just start creating something really cool right now. And maybe that would work. Maybe something a little bit bigger. So I want to start, you know, creating a bigger block. All right, what do we have over here? So, here we go. Do you see how that lines up? That's pretty good. So let's just put that on here. There's actually two pieces. So let's just put this on here. Now this little tip is going to get lost in the seam allowance, but that's okay. And you're probably wondering how big of a seam allowance I'm using, and I'm using probably 1/8 of an inch, definitely less than 1/4, because some of this fabric will get lost in 1/4, and some of it is so small you don't really have room for a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm just using 1/8. And you have to make sure if you do that both fabric sides get caught in that seam allowance, because if not, you're going to have holes all over your quilt. And now, check this out. This might work. Now this will get cut off, and this will probably get cut off. So, maybe this would be better served over here. I'm not sure. So, how do I want to do that? Let's see what else we have in here. So these super teeny tiny pieces, I want to try to save as much of it as I can, because it's already small enough. So, yeah. All right, maybe we could do something like this. Okay. Maybe I should not be so choosy. All right, well, let's do this. Actually, sometimes I like to save these longer pieces because it can fill in an edge or something along those lines. So we only need 6.5 inches. So this is my 6.5 inch rule, and we're going to use this as a template. So what do I have over here? Yeah, okay, Kim. So I'm just going to use this piece, and then I'm going to just start cutting something. So I'm going to just place this on what makes the most sense. Maybe that makes the most sense. Okay, this makes the most sense. We're going to do this. Whoops. So line up the edges as best as possible. It may not be straight, but that's okay. You're creating a straight line with your fabric. Well, I'm sorry, with your sewing line. You're creating a straight line. So that now creates a straight line. Okay? All right. And then, of course, I press it open just to make it a little easier for myself. And then I look for something else that might match. So this is a little bit bigger. Maybe that will match. Oh, here's a kitty face. Here's a kitty face. Maybe that works. So let's throw this on here. And I'm going to lose the eyeballs on that little kitty. You know what? I'm not going to do that just yet. So I need to like square this up a little bit. So let's just go do that right now. And I don't know if you can see. Well, maybe I'll bring my mat up and you can see how I square up. So I just take a straight edge and my rotary cutter and I will square up that edge. So that's a nice square edge to work with now. And then I will square up this edge so I have something nice and straight to work with there. Now this piece I probably will not put back in here, but maybe. And this now it has two square edges that I can work with. So let's see what else we got. Uh-oh, this is already a piece already sewn together. It's a little bit bigger. Now if I wanted to, I could just cut that down. Sometimes I try to work with the size that I already have so I don't cut more pieces, because then, you know, like that little one, I feel like I have to put it back in the fabric. So, oh, here's a star. Oh, stars already. Let's do, okay, so let's do something like this. You know what, guys? I'm getting a little fussy here. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, here we go. So we see this green. We're just gonna I'm gonna move this cutting board. So, see how this green fits on this like diagonal piece? Perfect. So we're gonna trim. Some of this is gonna be trimmed off. So it's actually gonna work out very well when you factor in, let me see if I can move that. When you factor in the seam allowance, it'll work out perfectly. Okay. All right. Fantastic. There you go. There's that. So let's iron this open just to lay flat. Awesome. And I do take that extra step to cut off those little strings and sometimes the dog ears because it's annoying to me. But that's just a me thing. Okay, so now let's start creating some longer sides. So I'm going to use this piece. And this is a salvage edge, so I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah, you can see those holes in it. It's a salvage edge. Guess what? It's a scraps piece, so I don't really care. Now I'm just going to measure this like this, and I'm just going to cut this off so I don't have that long tail to deal with. And then I line that up. And again, not a straight edge, but your thread, your sewing thread, makes a straight edge. All right, there we go. And finger press that open, and you can see how that works on there. Pretty nice. All right. Now you do not have to take that extra step and iron. Well, this is going to work out pretty well right here. So I'm going to put this piece right here. This has a long tail that's going to get cut off, so I'm going to do... And sometimes on the bottom these flip over, so you want to make sure they're going in the right way so it doesn't add extra bulk underneath your sewing line. Okay, so there we open that up, and now that creates a little bit more interest. So again, make sure that your fabric is caught in this seam. This one did not catch, so I have to re-sew that. Sometimes come in from the other angle. Come in from underneath to see where you need to sew your line. Okay, and there we go. Great, that worked a lot better. Okay, now that's really bulky with all those seams, so I definitely need to iron that down. Now this long tail I need to cut off, so I'm going to cut a straight line here. I'm going to bring my sewing mat back for you guys to see. And I'm just going to follow this straight edge already, which is effectively going to cut off that whole tail right there. So that's gone. And then square this up. This is trash. And then I can put another triangle piece on there. Now, if you have something like this, you can try to take those threads out or just leave them in, and maybe they'll get lost in the seam allowance. Whatever works. So, this is not long enough. So, when you're measuring, you want to make sure that you have enough to overhang this side and overhang this side. Can you see that? So this piece is not going to work because it does not overhang and overhang. However, this piece definitely will. So I'm just going to take the edge of this and allow it to overhang. So when you open it up, you have enough that you can trim off and trim off. Although that is not really a good... You know what? I'm going to do this piece. This is perfect. All right, so let's do this. And then when I open this up, I can actually create a squared edge with this one. So let's do that. Now you can see the back of this. This is quite the mess back here. So that's why I press every time to make sure everything is as flat as possible. Okay, so I bring this back. Square this. Uh-oh. Really thick, so be careful you cut through all of those layers. Square this. Okay. And then I can kind of square up that edge there too. So there we go. Now if I wanted to, I can create more of a straight line here, but I'm just going to leave it. I have just a little bit, so this is my template. I just have like another 1.5 inches to finish off this row. So I'm going to attempt to do that right now with this. Is this 1.5 inches? No. I need something a little bit wider. This is 1.5 inches, but it doesn't cover... It's too small. Don't think I want to use the red again. Because there's red here. This is the same thing. Oh, let's do this piece. This is nice. Alright, we're going to do this one. Right here. So again, make sure it overhangs the top by just a little bit. And then sew it down. And then when you open that up, you can square line that up. Okay, so again, I'm going to take it to my iron, as always. Press it out. But of course, that is an extra step